Hi, I'm Dat. This is Anna, this is Gloria, this is John, and this is Poppy. To start us off, I'm going to give a brief overview of 7-Eleven and look at the international strategy as a whole brand. From that, we'll be analysing the convenience store industry in Taiwan, where John will talk about the macro environment alongside an industry analysis. Anna and Gloria will go on to talk about the internal environment, defining 7-Eleven Taiwan's capabilities and activities, and also conducting a SWOT analysis. That leads us to Poppy, who will be discussing the position that 7-Eleven is in based on a competitor analysis and analysing their strategies. 7-Eleven's mission, as stated on their corporate website, is to make life a little easier by being the neighbourhood convenience store. Their vision as an organisation is to be the best retailer of convenience all around the world. 7-Eleven first went international when they expanded to Canada in 1969, and today they have over 56,000 stores in 18 different countries. The first element on the left looks at the need for global integration, where a head office is required to coordinate resources across all units. The need for local responsiveness refers to the individual countries or stores choosing their own strategies. We thought that 7-Eleven adopts a transnational strategy in which they think global and act local. A transnational strategy recognizes the importance of local responsiveness and uses it as a tool for local flexibility in day-to-day operations. Typically, for 7-Eleven's activities like marketing, sales, and services are decentralized and left to the local market in order to adapt to local conditions. The large activities like global coordination or logistics are centralized, in which 7-Eleven is able to attain economies of scale and reduce overall costs. With the transnational strategy, however, there are limitations that arise. Firstly, quality standards are hard to maintain. Considering that 7-Eleven franchises their stores all around the world, it's hard to keep track of the quality of the product or service that each store is providing within each country. There are also many cultural challenges, like the need to incorporate differences in demographics and understand each demographic thoroughly. And then, of course, the political challenges, which refers to the many different laws and regulations in different countries that must be followed. Evidence of 7-Eleven's transnational strategy leading to huge success, however, lies within the company's presence in Taiwan. 7-Eleven Taiwan has become a one-stop shop where they supply a huge range of services like coffee, delivery services, ticket sales, and printing and photocopying on top of all the products that they provide, so that customers don't need to go anywhere else. Because of this large range of services, they're able to tackle a wider target market, like becoming a hang-out place for school kids, or a place to conduct meetings for business people, or even a comfortable gathering spot for senior customers. The concept of convenience stores in Taiwan has become so successful for so many different reasons, like their on-the-go population or the advancement in technology, which John will now discuss further.
The study of the external macro environment is conducted to understand the variables that a company, like 7-Eleven, has little to no control over. Each potential change or trend in the external environment presents either an opportunity or a threat to 7-Eleven. There are many factors of a macro environment analysis, but for a greater focus in this assignment, three major ones will be focused on, including demographic, economic, and technological. Firstly, demographic. An important factor of the demographics of Taiwan is their high population density. In perspective, Taiwan is about half the size of Tasmania, yet has a population of 23 million, similar to the entire population of Australia. Additionally, with so many people crowded into such a small amount of space, there is a large amount of vertical zoning that occurs. This affects the convenience store industry as it allows for a large amount of footfall traffic, which can lead to increased exposure and sales. This growing density comes with a large range of customer demographics, and thus a large range of target markets. In general, however, the Taiwanese are said to be obsessed with immediacy and prioritise maximum efficiency in everything that they do. The convenience store industry in Taiwan has capitalised on this demand for immediacy, with stores constantly busy all hours throughout the day. The industry must keep up with the fast-moving population and keep up with customers' busy lifestyles to prosper. Another major demographic change that has taken place in recent times has been related to the fact that people are now living longer than ever. As shown in the graph, people aged over 65 account for 12% of Taiwan's entire population. This represents a large potential target market for the industry. Next, we'll analyse the economic factors. Taiwan as a country is heavily dependent on its exports, and when a major export destination like China is experiencing slow growth, Taiwan is heavily affected. The graph here from the World Trade Organization statistic database shows that 40% of Taiwan's total exports are to China, which is significantly more than any of their exports to any other countries. The Taiwanese economy grew at a rate of only 0.8% in 2015, which was its lowest in 6 years, reflecting the nature of the world economy and reliance on China as a trade partner. Technology. Taiwan is a country that excels in its production of technology and ICT services. Taiwanese companies consisting of brands like ASUS, ASUS, and HTC account for about 3/4 of the world's production of PCs and half of the world's productions of LCD. In addition to this, major firms such as Taiwanese Semiconductor Manufacturing and United Microelectronics Corp have continued to dominate in the global market in the production of integrated circuit, or IC, chips for a large variety of products. These companies are a major supplier of high-end components used for the manufacturing of companies such as Microsoft, Intel, or Apple. As shown in the table, Taiwan produces a staggering amount of IC foundries, also known as IC chips. In fact, Taiwanese companies account for 68.3% of the global market for IC chips. The table also shows the role Taiwan plays in other technological markets, such as navigational devices. When saying this, it's important that Taiwanese companies, as well as the government, continue to invest in research and development in order to maintain their competitive advantage and ensure that they stay ahead of the global market competition. Now we'll narrow in our focus on the convenience store industry. To do this, a Porter's 5 Forces model was completed to analyse the level of competition in the industry and attractiveness for new entrants. Firstly, the threat of new entrants. This was considered low. The convenience store industry requires economies of scale to operate effectively and efficiently. Competitors must rely on a large-scale distribution system that requires years of experience to generate and perfect. Moreover, a huge initial investment in capital is required to begin operating, and it will take years for any new entrant to pay off such costs. Secondly, the bargaining power of buyers. This was considered high. Customers are able to shop around and compare prices with relative ease. Therefore, they may be highly sensitive to increases in price and opt to shop at other convenience stores or at different stores altogether, such as street vendors or supermarkets. Third was the bargaining power of suppliers. This was medium. Suppliers have moderate bargaining power as they are able to provide their products to a large number of competitors in the industry and are not reliant on one sole market leader. However, 7-Eleven rests back some of this power by owning approximately half of the convenience stores in Taiwan. Therefore, they are able to drive costs down through ordering larger amounts and achieving economies of scale. Additionally, suppliers will not want to lose supply to half of the market. Fourth is referring to the threat of substitutes, which was also considered high. Convenience stores face the threat of substitution across many levels. Firstly, the high level of street vendors that offer popular local food at cheap prices are a substitute for any food purchased at 7-Eleven. Next, supermarkets and other retail stores sell many similar products, also often at cheaper prices. The convenience store industry is relying on customers to continue to pay a premium for the convenience that they offer. Lastly, the intensity of rivalry among competitors. This was also high. Competition is fierce as Taiwan has the highest density of convenience stores in the world, with each approximately a 6-minute walk apart, serving a community of around 2,500 people. However, 7-Eleven is the biggest in the industry. As at 2010, 7-Eleven controlled about half of the convenience store industry with 4,750 stores. The next biggest competitor, Family Mart, with 2,576 stores. We'll delve deeper into an analysis of the key competitors later in the presentation. All in all, the convenience store industry is not an attractive market for new entrants. This is due to significant startup costs. Moreover, the industry operates with low margins that are dictated to by the high level of rivalry amongst competitors, large number of substitute products, and relative bargaining power of buyers.
In exploring the competitive advantage of PCSC and to determine the company's strengths and weaknesses, we conducted a detailed internal analysis. Firstly, we started by identifying the most prominent tangible and intangible resources as opposed to the major competitors shown in this table. Here, we highlighted the importance of the financial resources in tangible sector. Financially, PCSC claims approximately 50% of the convenience store market share in Taiwan, with the largest competitor only having 20%, showcasing their position as market leader. This indicates their ability to generate internal funds, which in turn will be very important as they have more capital for investments. In PCSC's intangible resources, we took into consideration both their innovative and reputational resource. PCSC has been able to successfully innovate not only in their product and service offerings, but also business operations, particularly in their logistics system to ensure the most effective and efficient means of delivery is being used. Furthermore, PCSC has been working to push an environmentally friendly reputation over the years, which has been great value added to the company. Moving on to capabilities. As mentioned above, PCSC's distribution system has been modified to cut costs and ensure the delivery of products to the 7-Eleven vendors is at the most efficient way possible. As well as the innovation in the distribution channel, PCSC has been able to use the research and development to keep up with consistently changing definition of convenience in the perception of consumers as a result of the rapid advancement in technology. This has been particularly successful in retaining customers for PCSC. And in terms of human resource, they have used various methods to ensure that employees stay motivated through encouragement of communication, fair and reasonable compensation plan where male and female workers have all the same starting salary regardless of age, programs to support employees with occupational health issues, and job rotation system which allows employees to gain more experience to advance and also advance to higher positions. In turn, these efforts will increase employee satisfaction and retention rate in the long run. However, one of the most prominent capability in PCSC is their marketing. Starting with consistency in corporate logo and presentation of the store, it distinctively differentiates itself from other stores existing in the Taiwanese market, having a neat and well-lit environment. This is an important means of brand recognition for 7-Eleven. In addition to the point of differentiation, 7-Eleven's offer of wide range of American branded products can target younger demographics, which is perceived to be of higher quality. Also, PCSC has been particularly successful in the evaluation of market gaps and targeting various segments in the Taiwanese market, including youths, seniors, and people in the workforce, by utilizing localization strategies and also innovative product and services. In particular, as consumers are increasingly more conscious about their health, on top of launching their range of 7 Select Health Food, PCSC has also created 7 Select Calorie Count applications for smartphones. This allows consumers to conveniently add 7-Eleven healthy food range and account for their calorie intake daily. An implication of such innovation is also a push towards brand loyalty, where consumers' needs in various aspects are met by this one-stop shop. So, another area that emphasizes PCSC's capability in this field is the ability to continuously introduce innovative product and service offering that has reinforced their convenient value proposition in the market. So, through the comparisons of capabilities of PCSC, we determined the capability that fits with the requirements of VIRO was marketing capabilities shown in the table here. So starting with valuable capability, PCSC capability that allows them to minimize impact of threat and maximize result of opportunity are their innovative merchandising and service offerings, which enables them to keep up with the change in demand of consumers. Next, the capability not possessed by many others in the Taiwanese market is 7-Eleven's overall store presentation and the range of American brand products. This allows 7-Eleven to differentiate themselves from competitors. As 7-Eleven is a global brand, their logo is a valuable means of brand recall and recognition that is not imitable by any other companies as a result of trademark and copyright. And lastly, no competitors in Taiwan have the same level of global presence as 7-Eleven does, which is particularly useful in the tourism segment, where tourists in Taiwan will be able to immediately recognize the brand as opposed to other convenience stores. Through the value chain analysis, we were able to identify activities that added to the value proposition of PCSC, particularly in the supply chain management and service activities. In creating their fresh lunchbox product range, PCSC sources their product through local farmers, where PCSC works to educate them to grow crops in an environmentally friendly way. This is of great value because of the environmentally friendly reputation for the company, as consumers are increasingly aware and concerned about environmental issues today, and also the ability to reduce costs through these activities. Furthermore, PCSC has succeeded greatly through their consumer-focused business strategy to continuously revolutionize the definition of convenience for the market. PCSC has specialized activities that shows the dedication for customer service, including a customer service center to assist customers' needs immediately. The introduction of the I1 kiosk is also an example adding to the company's value in service, where consumers can achieve real-time service and convenience in mobile office, bill collection, and travel tickets, and much more. So this will lead us to Anna's evaluation of a SWOT analysis.
So after delving into the internal analysis in Gloria's presentation, we were able to complete a SWOT analysis to identify the strengths and weaknesses of 7-Eleven and several opportunities and threats that relate to the external environment. In regards to strengths, 7-Eleven are well known for their brand. Everyone can recognise the business and its unique logo, which is bright, colourful and attractive. They have many locations across Taiwan and in other countries such as Japan, Australia, Canada and the United States. Not only does 7-Eleven provide a wide range of products and services, they also target a variety of segments effectively, such as youth, seniors and working people. However, for 7-Eleven, innovation would be their main strength. They have successfully used technology to further emphasize the definition of convenience for consumers in creative ways. With Taiwanese consumers having busy schedules and the need for immediacy, by further increasing convenience through innovation, 7-Eleven will be able to take advantage of their strengths and keep up with the fast-moving population. On the other hand, a weakness of 7-Eleven is their easily imitable layout and design. The standard plan allows competitors to easily copy the presentation and arrangement of the store interiors. By doing so, rivals too can improve the attractiveness of their business to increase sales and potentially increase their market share. Although 7-Eleven have the largest number of stores in Taiwan, another disadvantage would be in relation to the point of differentiation. Generally speaking, it would be difficult to distinguish from competitors in the same industry, and many convenience stores offer similar, if not the same, products and services. Without the defining point of differentiation, brand loyalty is often hard to achieve. As a result, higher competition may lead to price wars and can possibly result in lower profits for 7-Eleven. For opportunities, Taiwanese people have a high preference for immediacy and live in a very fast-paced culture. With ready-to-eat products in strong demand and customers requesting more convenience, 7-Eleven have the chance to use their innovative skills and provide a wider range of products and services that focus on selling items that are convenient and quick. By gradually opening more stores, not only will customers have more access to many locations at any point in time, this can improve brand image, potentially increase market share, and eliminate smaller competitors. In addition, with PCSE being the parent company, they have the ability to access innovative technology to further develop in the industry. 7-Eleven have the opportunity to take advantage of their resources and use it to create a point of differentiation between them and competitors. Being the leader in the industry, 7-Eleven still face many potential threats in the external market. Apart from the factor of convenience, more specialized food chains and supermarkets can easily substitute the product offerings. A high threat of substitutes can mean lower profit and lower market share for the business. Although supermarkets do not belong in the same industry as convenience stores, the increased hours of supermarkets can have a significant impact on the business. 7-Eleven are well known for opening 24 hours, 7 days a week. However, if supermarkets are to begin closing later, convenience stores may lose customers who are price sensitive and prefer to search for bargains. Even though it may not be a substantial amount of consumers, it may still have an effect on their profitability in the long run. So in addition, the services provided by 7-Eleven may be unnecessary due to technology being easily accessible by consumers. It may be more convenient to buy a ticket or pay a bill on their mobile phones instead of searching for a 7-Eleven and doing it in store. By understanding specific needs of customers, they can invest into more products and services that are in high demand instead of wasting useful resources for facilities that are in low demand. So with changing demands and unpredictable factors, 7-Eleven must take advantage of their strengths and opportunities to gain market share and tackle external threats.
7-Eleven has 4 main competitors in the convenience store market, and these 4 chains make up over 95% of the market share, making it an oligopoly market. 7-Eleven's direct competitors are Family Mart, High Life and OK Mart. Here we can see that 7-Eleven has the highest market share, totaling 47%, making it the market leader. And here we have a graph of how each firm competes on growth, the number of stores they have and their market share. The graph shows that although 7-Eleven has the highest market share and the number of stores, it has a slower growth than Family Mart. This shows the closest of competition between the 4 competitors in the market, showing the highest level of competition between 7-Eleven and Family Mart, and a lesser strength of competition between High Life and OK Mart. We also found there has been a shift in the strategies of the overall convenience store market. Originally, as the market was growing, firms were focusing more on their store growth and expansion of their infrastructure. But as the market became more saturated, firms have shifted their strategies to focus on innovation of their products and services, as well as their marketing strategies to differentiate themselves. An analysis of the competing firms' products and services offerings showed that there are a lot of similarities, and this is due to the action and responsiveness of the firms. So when one firm has an innovation, basically all of the other firms follow and they imitate it. We have found, however, that the 2 larger chains, 7-Eleven and Family Mart, have similar resource scales and scales of economy. And this therefore means that they generally have a higher level of innovation and can therefore create more products and services for their customers. Therefore, as the 4 main competitors of the convenience store market have similar products and service offerings, it's 7-Eleven's marketing that is the biggest differentiator, which can be seen through its promotions, brand image, and the cleanliness of its stores. As there's little differences between the services and products offered, we have created a customer perception map to show how customers of the convenience store market perceive 7-Eleven in comparison to its competitors. We have included the leading firm from the hypermarket segment, as this could be a substitute for the convenience stores. We've compared customer perceptions based on value, the convenience or accessibility of the stores, the variety of products and services it offers, as well as the cleanliness and the degree of innovation that each chain has. So in this graph we can see that the convenience stores have a similar customer perceptions with a few slight differences. So we can see that the convenience store market as a whole has the perception of a lesser value than its potential substitutes of a hypermarket, which is Carrefour. However, Carrefour can be seen as less innovative, carrying fewer products and offering less services or fewer services than the convenience stores. We can also see that 7-Eleven has a higher customer perception rating on all factors, excluding value, and its closest competitor, Family Mart, is perceived to be less clean and not as conveniently located as 7-Eleven, because generally it obviously has more stores. In terms of the perceptions of the degree of innovation and the amount of products and services offered, the 2 largest chains are perceived to do slightly better in these areas, as well as considerably better in the perceived accessibility of the stores. Therefore, in the minds of the consumer, 7-Eleven is perceived to carry a wider range of products and services, are very innovative, have the cleanest stores, and are easy to access. However, they're not perceived as the most valuable place to shop. In addition, 7-Eleven have implemented a broad differentiation business strategy, as 7-Eleven clearly have a wide target market and the chain focuses on providing innovation through their products and services. 7-Eleven lowers the overall cost by saving customers time costs through the initiatives such as store deliveries, having everything they need in one place, and not having to travel far to purchase all of their products. As well as the reliability and quality of the products, just meaning that they don't have to replace or repurchase them as often. The tangible features that 7-Eleven provides for its customers include the wide number of products and services available, the consistency of the store layouts in all of the stores, which allows customers to be familiar of the store layout regardless of which store they go into, and its clean and well-lit appearance. Customer satisfaction is delivered through intangible features such its deliverance of friendly customer service, its strong brand image, which is globally recognised, its welcoming environment for seniors as a place to meet up and bond with one another, as well as its efforts to be environmentally friendly. Finally, the way in which 7-Eleven signals its value to customers is through its effort towards supporting the environment, creating ethical value, its family-friendly nature, catering for all ages, as well as the sheer number of stores available for customers to shop at. Therefore, 7-Eleven has positioned itself as the convenience store that offers the largest amounts of products and services through its high degree of innovation, while providing exceptionally friendly customer service and striving to be the cleanest convenience store targeting customers of all ages. This has led 7-Eleven in Taiwan to be the market leader in the convenience store market, truly making it the best retailer of convenience all around the world.